welcome to Unorganized Thought. There's a special Comic-Con coming up, isn't there, Kieran?
Comic-Con at home.
Yes, and it's going to be the first Comic-Con that us Canadians get to go to.
Well, and Canadians, I'm sure, haven't been thrown out at the door of previous
It's
Comic-Cons,
true.
but us specifically
Get
to go this year
um,
and not spend $1 million and try and get in 20 years in advance.
Yeah, very true. And so, this episode I think is going to be a little bit more Marvel-centric. Maybe if we go through it fast, we'll go into some other stuff.
Or we'll just have a short episode and people will actually watch it.
And so we're going to go through some of our, I guess, speculations as to what might be
what we
announced.
think might be able to be expected.
Yeah.
You know? Because I was just kind of sitting there, and I have this thought quite a lot of just how barren the Marvel landscape has been for about a year. You know, there's been nothing since Far From Home.
Yeah.
No movies, no content from Marvel, and there's been no word from them since.
Like the Black Widow trailer.
Wasn't it last year at Comic-Con when they announced a bunch of stuff? Or was
Yeah.
it D23? One of those two in the summer. Since then, there's been no word from officially Marvel. Directors and actors have spoken, but I need Marvel to look at me and say, "Hey, this is what's going on."
Yeah,
you
here's
know?
something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Especially when we were gonna get Black Widow,
Black Widow
and
was
then
supposed to come out a month
crazy
ago.
stuff happened.
You know, and so we remembered that this Comic-Con at home is going to be not this weekend, but at the end of this month, and so we kind of realized that, well, Marvel always has big things to say there, and it's likely that they're gonna do the same this year, despite it being not exclusive, I guess, for the public and just at home.
Yeah.
And so we kind of want to just go into what we think we might be able to expect from them at this Comic-Con. That what's the words?
You'll get there. While Kieran thinks of the word, consider subscribing. Hopefully, if you enjoy this, if you stick around, give us a like and let us know what you think in the comments about what we're going to talk about. We're trying to tag that at the beginning because nobody watches our videos to the end. So,
as what I was saying is that they, other than them just not showing up to Comic-Con, I think that we can expect big things. Is basically what I was trying to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have this worry in my heart that they're just gonna go, you know what? We're not gonna do that, you know? And so then it's just gonna be like, oh wow, we got a trailer for Aquaman 2 and Suicide Squad. Like, we don't want that. No one wants that. Be honest with yourself. Is that something you really want? Okay, and so we want to talk about what we think Marvel will do. And so, before the pandemic, they were working on a lot of things. Many TV shows, a couple movies. And so, most of the time at Comic-Con, they release trailers and things in that. And so, we were thinking about what they will maybe release. And so, the things they were working on at the time of the pandemic and shut down everything, they had a couple TV shows on the go. They had Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki. Am I missing one? What If? And so that's the TV Disney Plus side of it. Then movies. Black Widow was done. It was supposed to come out in the past. May. And Eternals and Shang-Chi were the main ones that were going before the pandemic started. And Black Widow, obviously, like we said, is done. And so they're not going to release anything about Black Widow at Comic-Con because it was basically released. Well, not released, but what else are they going to show?
Yeah.
You know? The trailers...
Aside from releasing the movie, which, hey, that would be cool.
That would be awesome, actually. I didn't think of that. That could be a big play for them to just say, you know what, we're going to put Black Widow on
We're going to cut people
Disney
a bit
Plus.
of a break, but as if Disney would ever do that.
And yeah, we've talked about that before on the podcast, but we just, don't think that that's going to happen, but it would be an awesome move for them. And so I don't think that we should expect anything from Black Widow at Comic-Con. Maybe they'll bring out Scarlett and the director and they'll just say, hey, this movie does still exist, just use it for promo more than anything. But then the next thing, I guess, would be Eternals, because that movie was supposed to come out in November, which now Black Widow's coming out in November.
They just kind of slided everything back a slot.
It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But that movie's basically done.
Yeah.
Eternals is pretty much done. They finished filming a long time ago. And so it's just the post-production stuff, which they were working on at the time of the pandemic. And so that movie is basically finished.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that they haven't finished, they will be finishing in this next month, now that films and things are allowed to continue working.
Mm-hmm.
And so the final whatever small amount of work that has to be done on that is going to be done. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we're almost, I don't want to say that we're guaranteed anything, but if I had to put my money on something for Comic-Con, I would put it on an Eternals trailer. I would say that we're going to get an Eternals trailer, because I also would have been willing to bet that we would have gotten that trailer when Black Widow came out.
Yeah.
But since it didn't come out, I think that we'll probably get it on when Comic-Con is.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of rumors about that trailer existing and coming out before Black Widow was supposed to come out. And then Black Widow didn't come out, and no one heard anything about the trailer.
Yeah.
And so I think that if you have to get excited about something, I think that would be the thing to look forward
We're
to.
going to get at least one trailer, and I'd be willing to bet that we are going to get a bunch, because, like, from my perspective, like you said, it's just sort of, Marvel is just this barren wasteland of uncertainty right now, you know? And, like, at least there was going to be Black Widow, but even with Black Widow, it's set in the past.
I know.
You know? And so that's not...
And don't get us wrong, we're excited about that movie. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But just for the universe...
Yeah, and I expect that that's going to have something important in it, because it's the first...
Second.
It's the... it was... I'm pretty sure Far From Home is the last in Phase 4.
Oh, in Phase 4. But it's the first thing...
It's the first thing...
It's the second thing after Endgame.
Yeah, and then it's the first thing of Phase 4, and it's like...
5? 4?
5?
I don't know.
And it's going back to a character that,
who's
spoiler
dead.
alert, you know, is presumed dead.
Yeah.
So I feel like something important is going to happen there. Like, I mean, hopefully...
We have theories about that we'll get into on a different podcast.
But, you know... It seems like Marvel really has to do something to re-stoke excitement.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, all the fans are kind of just grasping at straws right now, because not only was it already a barren wasteland, but after the pandemic hit, there was just nothing for even longer, you know, and nothing to look forward to for even longer, because...
Yeah. Well, and now it's just very much, we were talking about this the other day, is just that we don't even really know, and that goes back to what I was saying about... wanting Marvel itself to come out and say something.
Yeah.
Because, yes, there's this speculation, and people are saying that everything's bumped back, and this is when this is coming out. But Marvel hasn't come out and showed me a timeline and saying, this is when everything's coming out now, you know? It's just, it's very
it's
much,
sort of just
it's third-party information.
And inside sources, and,
And I just...
Nobody knows anything for sure, because like,
and
nobody
so,
from Marvel has actually said it.
Yeah, you don't know when anything's actually coming out. You don't know if anything's actually coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sit on it. And so kind of something that I'm kind of frustrated with about it is that this is kind of a separate topic, but it ties into the Disney and Disney Plus world of all of this pandemic stuff. Is just that Netflix and stuff is releasing content, you know? They're putting out movies. They put out Extraction, which is a theatrical level movie. They announced that Umbrella Academy season 2 is coming out. They're presumably still rolling out Stranger Things, which is this year in this summer, which those are two of their biggest shows, and they're still saying, hey, this is coming soon, in the summer, and then maybe right after that. Whereas Disney Plus, all they have is people unsubscribing because Mando's done. No, the gallery Mandalorian is such a niche,
and it's hit and miss too. Even
and like we're the kind of people that like that, and Aidan hasn't even watched half the episodes.
Yeah, because like you have episodes where Filoni makes an extraordinary speech, and then other ones where they just sort of repeat themselves and like
they just go in
just
circles,
kind of meander a little bit, and it's kind of like
feels kind of desperate for content.
Yeah, it feels like they got a couple really good things and then had to kind of chop together the cutting room floor to make up their other episodes.
Yeah. And so where I'm going with this is that I don't know what they're doing, like what their plan is with this, because the thing is they do have content. Like I was saying, is that there are those at least 3 shows that they were filming for Marvel that are almost done. There's 2 movies that are done, and they're just sitting on it.
Yeah.
And for what?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for it. Other than the greed, you know?
Is that they want to make, cinema theatrical money for it.
Yeah. And so kind of going back is that, kind of back to what to expect at Comic-Con. We got sidetracked, but I think that's kind of an important thing to put out in the world, just that Disney doesn't, it's confusing what they're doing. But at Comic-Con, another things is that I think that kind of alongside Eternals, is that I think another fair bet would be WandaVision, because that show is finished filming, I'm pretty sure, and just in post-production. And so that one, I saw things that seemed like it said that it was supposed to come out in the spring. But then you look at the original timeline that they put out last year, and it was supposed to come out next spring, but then they bumped it up and then bumped it up again and now pushed it back. It's crazy, and this is why we need them to say something.
Yeah.
Because
nobody knows what's going on.
And so, but all that said, it's done filming, and there's just a bunch of rumors around it, and so I think that that's another one that we could expect a trailer for. And then going on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they were still filming when the pandemic started. But the thing with that is that we were just talking about before is that they had enough from that to put the clips in that what was
kind
it?
Of promo trailer.
That promo trailer. I don't know what it was. Was it Super Bowl? Something. They had enough from it filmed at that time, and that was months ago.
Yeah.
And so it makes you question how, like, I think that they're farther along than people believe they are.
Yeah.
And to say, I'll just kind of get through it a bit quicker, because I think the same could be said about that for Loki, because again, no one's really heard about it. People have seen some set photos, but they had enough filmed to
there was kind of just the one.
It was just
shot.
the one thing from Loki, but it still indicates that they're in the production. And so I think that the least likely thing will be any sort of trailer for Loki, but I think that it's possible that we might get some sort of snippet from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then I just thought of something good. Do you have anything to say?
Not really. I just like trailers get you excited, and like that's exactly what they need.
They need to build some sort of
They need to build some sort of excitement for what's been going on, because it's just been radio silence. And I'd be very, very surprised if we left the Marvel panel being, like disappointed. Like there's got to be something that we go, oh.
Yeah, the only
like we need to have podcast material afterwards.
Yeah.
If not,
and not because of our greedy podcast material.
No.
But
I'm just saying we need to have something to talk about and to be excited about afterwards.
Yeah.
Because right now
the world of pop culture.
This is what we're speculating what they might what paltry things they might
Yeah,
throw
because
to us.
the fear for me, I guess, would be that they only just focus on Black Widow promo. You know, that's their cop out.
Because
That's
we
their
should
cop out,
already
you know?
have that movie.
Exactly.
Like, that's not
you're
fair.
you're not giving us anything, you know?
Yeah. You already took it away.
Exactly. And so that's my fear, is that they go out and they only talk about that and be like, yeah, Black Widow's coming out, you know? And so I'm kind of afraid of that. This is what I was going to say, is that with this lack of content on Disney Plus, we did get this Mandalorian gallery, and something very interesting that we got from that was that we know about the volume now.
Oh.
Which, if they used it on the Mandalorian and it was seamless.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're doing other Disney Plus shows, and not only are they allowed to start filming now, you get a skeleton crew, you get in the volume, they can be pumping out shows like crazy.
That's very true. For those who don't know, the volume is this virtual set comprised of like very many LED high quality screens.
Screen room.
It's like this room that is essentially like the danger room from X-Men, where it can simulate any sort of environment and render it not only all around the actors, but in relation to the camera.
Yeah.
Like, it can change angles, keep things still, or make them move in regards to where the camera needs to be.
Yeah.
And so, for lots of the outside scenes that you see in The Mandalorian, they were actually just on the volume.
Yeah.
And so, in a time when you can't
Travel.
go to other countries and shoot on location, they now have this extraordinary resource where they can go into this room and be anywhere they need to be.
Yeah.
And in The Mandalorian, you could... I never was able to tell.
I just thought
in
they were
many
outside.
of those shots.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be surprised. And so, like, watching the episode on the volume is something that I would recommend doing, at least in The Mandalorian, just to sort of see the technology they like created on the set of The Mandalorian.
And so basically what my point of bringing that up was that they clearly have access to that.
Yeah.
And so you're crazy if you're telling me that Disney isn't saying, well, we need our other Disney Plus shows, so
let's build
Marvel,
7 more volumes.
Yeah, that, and Marvel, you use the same resources as Star Wars. It's all under Disney.
Yeah.
You know? And so the other thing that I was going to say is that What If, I'm pretty sure, is done. They haven't said anything about it since they announced it, but I'm pretty sure it's done. And I'm pretty sure it's been done for a long time. And I don't know why they're sitting on it, because none of it's canon. It's all interdimensional weird stuff.
I think maybe that's why they're waiting, because it's multiverse, and they're probably waiting for at least WandaVision to do too much multiverse stuff, because they seem to be branching off into that, and are going to be, narrowing in on it a little bit more in Doctor Strange, but I'd be willing to bet that WandaVision is going to get quite a bit of that.
They're going to get the ball rolling on it.
Yeah, and so I think maybe they're waiting to sort of introduce that in canon before they go, okay, so now that we remember in WandaVision when she was in all these other universes, here's some of those.
Okay.
I could see them like wanting to just wait to put it out because after something else.
On top of that, they greenlit
wise.
season 2 a long time ago. Like, they were done season 1 and greenlit season 2 probably before we even saw anything about it. And so it's just these questions in my head of why they're just sitting on all of this content.
Marvel's always just such a mystery. Like, there was the Spider-Man scare that he was gonna leave, and Marvel just didn't quiet. Say anything the whole time until Tom Holland was like, "Yep, I'm back," and it's like, let us know what's going on. And like, obviously, we're never gonna know the full story of the corporate. They just play the
cards very close.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, let's see. Shang-Chi, there's also conflicted reports on that of where in production they were. They were filming, for sure, but how far along filming, we don't know. The director got COVID, and so that they just stopped. And so, who knows how far along they are in that. I think that they may talk about it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Just
know?
give us updates on everything.
And I think that's
like,
what
give us another timeline.
I think.
Is all
I'm
that we
hoping
want.
that that's what it will be.
But
they'll
then
give
again,
another timeline.
You never know when people are going to be able to go back into theaters, because as soon as they but as soon as people start going into the theaters, there might be, another spike, and then they're going to have to go on full lockdown for another couple months,
And so I do think
maybe
that
that's
if
why
that
they're
happens,
tentative to say too much.
It's true. But I do think if that happens, then if that happens and they have to shut down again, they'll release Black Widow. I almost think that 100%, because they're not. But then again, you don't know how greedy Disney is,
I think we all know how greedy Disney is.
Would they postpone a universe indefinitely just to release Black Widow in theaters?
Yeah. And honestly, they're the longer they wait, the more traction they're gonna lose. Like, everyone wanted Black Widow because it's like, oh, I gotta see what's happening. Like, Natasha's alive again. I gotta see, this stuff that was happening with her. It's Marvel afterwards, but it's just sort of like slowly just kind of forgetting about it.
I want so much for them to go ahead in the timeline.
Yeah.
We've just Far From Home was just its own thing, but
so,
I want to know what's going on in this post-Avengers world.
For this thing to be in the past, that's already kind of like a I want to see what's happening.
It's a bit of a hard
sell. Exactly. And so the longer they wait, the longer they're expecting people to just flock to it once theaters open,
which they will.
And hopefully they will, but if you wait longer and longer, like, I don't know if people will be so keen, because we got, like, how there's like teaser trailer, first trailer number 2, trailer number 3.
Yeah.
We were like all the way up to trailer number 3.
Got, like, I'm sure if you Google
we've seen like
you
half
can see
the movie already.
Final trailer.
Yeah,
they always do that. Final trailer, right? A month before it releases.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, it seems like, we should already have this movie.
Yeah.
That's the point that we're at. And so it's kind of like giving it to us is the only thing that's going to appease people in regards to Black Widow at this point,
Yeah. And so let's kind of just talk about, like, what we do really expect from Comic-Con, because we kind of gave that as the tagline of this podcast, but then we just kind of rambled about what Marvel stuff exists and where it is.
I'm very excited personally to sidestep all the whooping so that I can actually hear what's happening.
Yeah, that is an amazing point. That's a great point. That is a great point.
It's going to be impossible. Like, they're going to have to just release everything the next day, because
they usually release it, like, depending on what the trailer is.
Yeah.
They'll just release it at the same time.
Yeah, because there's going to be no protection from people, like, leaking.
No, well, but the thing is I think that that's the thing, though, is that it will be a very different Comic-Con, because
there's
normally
no exclusive things
they will release an exclusive look at this, or this is an exclusive trailer with extra footage. Now we're just gonna get the public look at everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what is shown at Comic-Con will be released on YouTube 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's awesome, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, if you're somebody that goes to Comic-Con every year, I'm sure that that's kind of frustrating.
But it's better than nothing.
Exactly. And so I think, just kind of talk about, like, what we really expect. Realistically, what we think we'll probably get. And I think that will be a lot of talk about Black Widow, and just saying that this movie exists, maybe bring out Scarlett and the director and say, hey, this is what's going on, I think that we'll get an Eternals trailer. I think that we'll probably get a WandaVision trailer. I think that we'll get maybe some snippets of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Or a trailer.
Maybe
even
a trailer.
A trailer for any of them.
Exactly. And I think those are the big things. I think that is the realistic thing. I think they'll probably say something about Loki. I think that is the realistic kind of minimum. I think that's the attainable minimum, I should say.
Yeah.
I think that's the attainable goal that we can kind of hope for.
Yeah.
But with that, we have some speculation about things that we think they may do,
Mm-hmm.
and things that would build the hype for Marvel as a whole,
And for
very
things
well.
that maybe aren't far along enough for
Exactly.
a trailer to be released yet.
Because something that we've seen them do in the past is Blade isn't in production, but they brought out Mahershala and said, "This is Blade, though,"
Mm-hmm.
and everyone lost their minds because now not only is Blade coming, but we know who Blade is, you know, and that was crazy, you know, and so I think that that's what we can expect. And again, this is now a little more ambitious, but I don't really think it is. I think that this is pretty realistic things to expect.
Yeah.
And what we were saying that we think that will be is casting reveals for the 3 shows that they announced that we've heard nothing about.
Yeah.
Which is Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. I think that we'll probably get casting reveals for who those are, and kind of some it's not hard evidence, but kind of some speculatory evidence that could be put forward is that over this past year, I mean, I've mentioned it on the podcast at least a couple times.
The internet is just collectively decided.
Well, not that, but is that for those roles, there has been multiple times throughout the past year of just names being put out there. Is we think that who are some people? People thought that like Daniel Radcliffe was maybe in talks for Moon Knight. People thought that this guy was this guy or this and this, you know? And then we got the casting call of an Alison Brie type for She-Hulk. And so my point is just that over the past year, there's just been a bunch of different times and kind of crumbs just saying we're casting and we're looking for these people to be these roles. And I would not be I think that they've had the casting for a while. They know who it is. And so I think that that's a really easy way for them to win fans and just get people super excited about those shows. You know, we haven't heard anything about Miss Marvel. And, like, we've heard some things about the writers and things for She-Hulk and Moon Knight, but at the same time, it's so little about anything. And so I think that casting reveals would be a huge thing for them to do.
That
and it's super simple.
That gets people's minds, rolling, you know?
Exactly. You get them over the video call and you say, "Welcome to our newest member of the Marvel family, Moon Knight."
And they pop up on
and
the
he
screen.
pops up on the screen and it's, "Hello, it's me," you know?
It's me,
and
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
hey.
and see, there's another one that people have rumored a lot. And so, and then...
it's me, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
I'm Moon Knight.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me. I'm Moon Knight.
Yeah. And so I don't really know what Disney's looking for that role. Like, and I'm sure I'll be happy with it in the end, but I'm a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
You know?
Kieran's a Moon Knight fan.
Yeah. But then She-Hulk as well. We don't know what they're looking for there, and it's just a lot of curious speculation. And I think that's a really easy way for them to build hype, just to say, here are these actors, and here's who they're gonna be. And with that, another one that the internet has basically decided on is the Fantastic Four. For them to just bring out the Fantastic Four and say, here they are.
Here's John Krasinski and
Here's
Emily
John
Blunt.
Krasinski and Emily Blunt, you know? Like, it's so easy, and the internet would lose their minds, you know? You don't have to tell us that even you're working on the movie yet.
Yeah.
Just bring them out and say, here they are.
Kevin Feige needs to go, all right, I have some good news. Here's John Krasinski and Fantastic Four.
Some fantastic news. But, yeah, I'm curious what will happen should they not bring them out, you know?
Should they go, here's the Fantastic Four, it's Mel Gibson. Everyone would
what's that
be
guy?
so
What's that
upset.
guy? Miles Teller?
Miles Teller?
Yeah. Wasn't he Mr. Fantastic in the crap one? That just came out?
Yeah, it's Miles Teller
it's
again.
the guys that just made that awful movie. Ugh. But like, it'd be hilarious if he did like, and now bringing out Mr. Fantastic, it's Robert Downey Jr. I'm just kidding. You guys know it's John Krasinski. You know, like
though you are very fantastic, Robert.
You know, and Robert's just there.
Hello,
hey everyone. Hey everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that's another one. And mention the X-Men again. You know.
Yeah.
He,
say that
he
Deadpool
mentioned
is
mutants,
part. Say that Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is part of the MCU.
Yeah. Like, just little things like that, mentions like that, will get them a long way, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that like it's just like I was saying, it gets people's imaginations going, you know. It gets people excited because it's like, "Oh, what will this person be like? How are they going to play this?" And that gives people insight. It gives people, you know, a trail to follow in their minds, you know, of what's going to happen and what they could maybe sort of expect about this, and obviously there's no way of completely knowing, but it gets people excited just to, you know,
then they
put a
look
face
into those,
a face to a character that they had seen in the comics, you know, like that's just exciting.
Because then they get
on
excited
its own.
about it, you know. They look into that actor. Everyone looked into Simu Liu. I don't know how to pronounce his name fully. I think that's almost it. But Shang-Chi.
How did you almost know my name?
You almost know my name. They announced him, and now people have been like researching him, you know, seeing what he's done, and like look, and that's what they always do. They announce the actor for this role, and then it's like people get excited about it, you know. They announced Eternals. That's the craziest cast ever. I'm so excited for that movie. It's gonna be so good, you know. But like we just need more from them, you know. Like I'm worried that they're gonna show up and just give nothing. You know, that's my biggest fear about this.
That's not gonna happen. They have to.
Yeah. And so I think that, like, and if we're being super ambitious, they'll just drop trailers for everything. You know?
If we're being super ambitious, they'll just give us Black Widow on Disney Plus.
That would be awesome.
And like what we've been saying is make it pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like then you're making cinema money. You know? Like it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't even have to be buy to own. You can do that later. Be like, here's Black Widow, you have to pay this much, and you're gonna lose money on families going to see it because they're all just gonna watch it on their
But if it's anyone like our family, we're just gonna keep watching it over and over.
Yeah, exactly. We're probably gonna buy it at least 2 times.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. Especially because, like, you know, when you go and see a movie,
we go see Marvel movies twice
you watch it, then you watch it again, and then after a few weeks you're like, oh man, I want to go see it, but I probably shouldn't now, you know. And so that's the perfect opportunity. You don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like it can't be that hard to program that into Disney Plus. I'm sure it's already there.
Oh, I'm sure it's already there. Yeah.
You know, like, if Disney didn't already program as many paywalls as they could into that thing.
And like a simple example, they released Onward.
Yeah.
They did it.
And they didn't even do that one pay-per-view.
Exactly.
You know,
and
so obviously, like
you have
Disney,
some mercy.
Disney's not going to run out of money. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, they just, and like, I think that was sort of their show of their olive branch. They're like, okay, look, here you go. Honestly, have this one.
Honestly, they probably should have held that card a little longer.
That was a pretty good movie.
I know, but what I'm saying is that the pandemic started and they went, have Onward, you know?
Yeah, and everyone ate it and went, more.
You know, they should have probably went, all right, now that it's been 4 months, or now it's been 2 months in the pandemic, look, we're kind. We give you Onward.
Yeah.
You know? But instead they just, have it. And then
Silence, wolves! Yeah,
they have Black Widow in one hand and Onward in the other. I just went, no, stay away. You know? And I don't know. It's just so curious.
Yeah, and I think that what it comes down to is that, like, you know, you gotta pay people, and you can't just like give away everything for free.
At the same time, you're Disney.
And at the same time, you're Disney, and you'll get by. You know, like you're not gonna go under as a company.
Think about how many subscriptions putting Black Widow out would get on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
that would be insane. Mm-hmm. Everyone who doesn't already have it would get it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's
except
true.
for those people that are just sitting there with the DC Universe app. Just in a dark room with black walls.
Yeah.
With a poster of Zack Snyder.
And now there's like
the
HBO Max, and I guess
that's funny. I saw Warner Brothers is gonna take away a bunch of their DC movies already.
Man,
it's been out for like a week.
Like,
I don't know.
Canadians just don't get the new Adventure Time, I guess. I don't know why they would do that, man.
To be fair, Canadians have never really gotten Adventure
That's
Time.
true, because Canadian Cartoon Network is pure garbage.
Straight garbo.
Straight garbo that just... I don't think they ever aired the Adventure Time finale. I don't think it ever aired
I
at all.
never saw it on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. What other things do you think we'll expect from Marvel,
Yeah.
Do you have any other points?
I don't think so.
I think that we probably could have said it a bit more coherent, but we did get the point across,
Yeah.
This is kind of our Comic-Con speculation. We're going to do another episode about Star Wars, and so I'm sure that any of the Marvel stuff that we forgot we'll mention there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the main thing is just that expect probably an Eternals trailer, maybe WandaVision, and then I think expect some things from everything else. We might get a What If trailer. Oh, and kind of the last thing is that I was wondering about all this pushing back because the TV shows are practically ready. And so I'm like, why are they pushing these TV shows back? Because you think about it, it's like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier don't really seem like those are two things that would be affected by Black Widow. And so
I think that there must be something.
and so there must be something,
in Black Widow,
and I think
that they gotta release.
And I think that
first.
that's why, because they just keep pushing everything back, including the TV shows. Because when they pushed everything back, I was like, okay, it's okay though, because they wouldn't have pushed the TV shows back because those are free. That shouldn't have any balance on it, but they did push them back.
Wait, do Skrulls have green blood, or do they have black, like red blood?
I think it was miscolored.
It's always miscolored.
No, I think it changed once they're humans. I think, maybe.
Like it's red when they're humans. Because what if Natasha was a Skrull when she died?
I've had that thought.
And maybe that's sort of maybe Black Widow builds into the Skrull invasion.
Yeah, secret invasion. That could be.
I don't know.
But
Anyways,
then doesn't that take away from her death?
Yeah. Well, I always was unhappy with her death. Anyways, it always seemed like a trick. I'm gonna stand by that until I am dead. I said it on the first podcast, and it was super awkward. I'm gonna stand by it, man.
But basically, what I was saying with that is just that there must be some sort of tie from Black Widow to the shows. And my thought is maybe in WandaVision is she's doing interdimensional stuff. And so maybe with Natasha messing with timelines, if she's alive, if Steve finds a way to bring her back, and then I think, okay, stay with me for a couple more minutes. This is my conspiracy web. We think that maybe Steve brought Natasha.
Steve had to bring the Soul Stone had to be back in the hands of the Red Skull at the end of Endgame.
And so you're telling me Steve didn't go there, punch the Red Skull in the face, say take this stone back and get back Natasha?
Yeah, I'd like to make a refund.
I don't believe that one bit. Okay, so we think Steve brought her back. She's got this movie that's pushing back all the shows, interdimensional WandaVision, and in Loki, he's getting chased by the Time Police. And so my big conspiracy theory is that all of it's connected because if we're getting the Time Police in Loki, if Cap messed with the timelines and Natasha's alive, we have messed up timelines in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Loki, the Time Police are going to be on their asses now.
Yeah, maybe the post-credit scene for Black Widow is going to be Black Widow coming back and then getting visited by the Time Police or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
But, and maybe they'll just come and talk to her and then be like...
It's the new Nick Fury.
And then he checks his phone and is like, wait a minute. Never mind, we don't have a problem with you because Cap fixed the timelines,
Yeah.
Except for the one that Loki destroyed. But, they fixed them. And so maybe they'll visit Natasha and then realize that they're fixed and then be like, all right, on your way. Maybe something like that. But I don't really know how this ties into Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it seems like they have a lot of issues already. They got to deal with U.S. Agent. They got Zemo to deal with. They've got Sharon Carter's back. They've got another Captain America guy in there who has a black suit, I think. I don't know. It's crazy. And they have a lot to deal with over there. And so I don't really think that they're going to be working on the time travel aspect. I think that's going to be very much
I'm pretty sure he's gonna die, but maybe Hopper will be in it as a fourth Captain
That would
America
be awesome.
in that movie.
They bring back every Captain America. That would be crazy.
What's his name in it? He's like the Red Star
Red Guardian.
Or something. Red Guardian.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking about David Harbour's character
In Black Widow. I think he's gonna.
He's
die.
definitely. I'm pretty sure you can see the scene where he's gonna die in that show when he's going up against the Taskmaster.
Taskmaster's gonna.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna die in that exact hallway with the glass walls and stuff.
I think maybe he'll be spared because I saw a theory that of who Taskmaster may be.
It's probably definitely that other lady
mom?
with the black hair.
Yeah,
I don't know why you call her the mom. She's
because they're a family. Remember in the trailer when they said they're a family? I thought that it was more of
a sister thing. Like there's the three sisters and then maybe like big brother /
Well, I always
dad.
assumed that it was like the two sisters and then the mom and the dad.
Oh, the widow family.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got a widow family.
See, but then the thing is that I think that it's probably her, and I'm upset that I like again. It's like I wish
now she's gonna kill the dad.
But that's why I don't think she will. You know.
I don't know.
We probably will put a spoiler warning ahead of that.
She's definitely. I think Taskmaster is definitely like. There's gonna be like a twisteroo.
Yeah, there will be.
It's gonna.
I have also
it's gonna
seen
be one of the
like rumors though that
sisters.
It's like a big dude, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know.
But I'm happy that I don't know who it is for sure, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about our conspiracy theory? What do you think that they'll show at Comic-Con for Marvel? Yeah, do you think that we're right with the trailers that we've guessed? I think
no whooping at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's a good hashtag. Also, we watched Triple Frontier yesterday, and I had the thought that maybe Charlie Hunnam could be Moon Knight.
Oh.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, it could be.
Could be. I wouldn't be upset about it, is all I'll say, and I just wanted to put it out in the universe before we probably get his reveal in, like, next week.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, let us know. Comment down below. We love having conversations about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
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 That's all I got. Like and subscribe.
Sounds good. Goodbye.